welcome to today's event. My name is Bill Preston. I'm the president of AFGE Local 17. That's American Federation of Government Employees, Union Local 17. We're having a rally here today to protest the government shutdown and to support fellow workers and veterans. And I appreciate that everybody's here in the rain in this miserable weather, but you all have the solidarity to show up, so give yourselves a big round of applause.
Right on.
Shows in your umbrellas. All right, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, welcome again. What I'd like to do first of all is welcome National President J. David Cox of the American Federation of Government Employees.
Good to be here.
Appreciate the fact that J. David is here, and I would like to give him the opportunity to speak. After which I'll take back the mic, and maybe we'll have some other people who speak. J. David, come on up. Please give J. David Cox a round of applause.
Hey, thank you, Bill. I'm going to let you hold that mic. Hold the mic as we continue in the rain. But you know what? We're going to be out fighting every day. They've locked us out in the rain, and we're going to take this country back in the rain. Wherever we're going to be, we're going to take this country back, brothers and sisters. Because, you know, we're at day 11. Day 11, locked out of our jobs. Locked out from service of the American people. Day 11, we want to go to work. You all want to go to work? We want to go to work. We want to service the American people. We want to do the things to provide for them. Today, veterans are locked out of the VA. Locked out of the VA. Today, veterans cannot get their claims processed. They can't file their claims. In 2 weeks, veterans are not going to receive their benefit checks because John Boehner and the Republicans in the House of Representatives refused to give the opportunity for a clean up or down vote on a CR. It's time to have that vote. It's time to let the American people be heard and to get back to government services. If you're trying to get a mortgage right now, you can't get it. Clean air, clean water, it's not happening because EPA shut down. Veterans are being locked out of housing because HUD's not operating. We want to go to work. Our message is loud and clear. We want to go to work. We want to service the American people. And I commend every one of you who's out here today. Be the weather, be it raining, be whatever, we've got to be out. We've got to pound the pavement every day. We've got to carry the message to the American people that government's good, that government services are good, and the American people are paying a terrible, terrible price for what the Republicans are doing in the House of Representatives, and it's time for it to end now. We want to go to work. Don't we want to go to work? Yeah. We want to go to work. We want to go to work. And I say to the Speaker, let our people go to work and to service the American people. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for having me out here today. Glad to be here.
Thank you, J. David. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Listen, thank you again to everybody for coming out here in this terrible rain. And, you know, I'm not going to belabor the point. I don't know how long it's going to go. Many of us would prefer to go home, and that may indeed be what we do with this terrible weather here. But I did want to say a few words, and I wanted to talk about the fact that the workers that we represent at the AFGE here, we are the people that we represent. The people that we represent are the individuals who help make this Department of Veterans Affairs work. They are the people who work claims. They are the people who tend to the sick in the hospitals, and they are the people who help bury the dead in the cemeteries. And the federal workers here, they have been through a lot over the past several years. They have, it's not just this department, it's throughout the federal sector. They have been through a 3-year pay freeze. They have been through downgrades. They've been through a sequester. And now this. Now this is totally unnecessary ordeal that the country is being put through by the Tea Party and Ted Cruz. And these people, they want to break us. They not only want to get rid of a lot of the benefits that we've come to rely on as federal employees, but they want to get rid of Social Security and Medicare. And through a so-called grand bargain that will ultimately be be a very bad deal for the American Tea Party. For the American people, the Tea Party, they are like little children. They're throwing a temper tantrum, and they should not be aided and abetted. They've got to be met with a stern rebuke, because if they are allowed to get away with this here, they will continue, and they will ask for a lot more. The next time, they'll be motivated to keep on trying to take hostages as they have in order to get their way. I'm not going to continue talking. I had a fairly lengthy set of remarks I made, but this is just dragging on and on and on and on with the rain here, so I want to afford people an opportunity to get back inside if they wish. I don't want to put people through the unnecessary hassles of being out here in this terrible rainstorm, but I'm delighted that you all showed up. I really appreciate it. It shows a lot of commitment to the labor movement that you came out here in this terrible weather to show support. So please give yourselves a round of applause if you can, if you're going to throw or a big labor cheer.
All right. Open the government now. We're going to continue having rallies. We're going to continue this fight, because it's not over with just getting the government back open. Just as Bill said, they're coming for Social Security, they're coming for our retirement, they're coming for our pay, and we've got to say not no, but hell no. We're in the fight of our lives, and we've got to all get in there.
Yeah.
And one thing, I'm going to clearly remember this November in Virginia, and I'm going to remember next November all over this country what these people are doing to us.
All of us are impacted, whether we're workers or veterans or friends or family. We're all affected. And the veterans especially, because the veterans' benefits are going to start grinding to a halt towards the end of the month. And so all the different sectors of the people that are impacted, they ought to be here. Not just one event or two events. There was a big rally yesterday. There ought to be continuous maximum pressure applied on Capitol Hill, applied on the Tea Party and Ted Cruz. There ought to be daily protests. Almost 100 years ago, there was a bonus march of veterans that were promised their benefits and they didn't get them. And what the veterans did is they came to D.C. and they pitched their tents further on down the mall here. There ought to be a bonus march too. The veterans that aren't going to get their benefits, they ought to come here to Capitol Hill. They ought to pitch their tents right here and not leave. There ought to be daily protests. There ought to be sit-ins at the offices of Ted Cruz and these other Tea Party senators and Congress people. There ought to be something like the bonus march meets Occupy, where the Capitol Hill, this great big lawn space here, and the rest of the lawn space is occupied. Because what we need is to fight back, and we can't forget that we are the majority in this country. They like to say that they're the majority and act like they represent all of the people, but they don't. Together, if we unite, we would so overwhelm their forces. And that's what we need, we need some unity. We need to develop a broad-based, united, multiracial front of labor and all of the allied people's forces in order to smash the Tea Party. We got to smash the Tea Party. Smash the Tea Party. Smash the Tea Party. Smash the Tea Party. But we also got to keep in mind that as clownish as the Tea Party really is, and certainly appears to be, they're part of a much deeper, broader, and thoroughgoing offensive by capital against labor. Some of these right-wingers like to talk about Friedrich Hayek's road to serfdom, and they claim that what's going on in this country is a supposed road to serfdom by the president's policies. Well, what they want to put the working people through is a new serfdom. They want to take away our union rights and everything that people have fought for over 150 years. And they want to reduce us to the state where we have no rights and we are crawling around begging the rich for everything. Well, we're not going to settle for that. We're going to stand up for our rights and fight. Right?
Right.
You talk about how many members you have and how they're doing.
We represent 670,000 federal employees nationwide.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm sorry, what?
Introduce yourself.
I'm J. David Cox. I'm president of the American Federation of Government Employees.
And how many people do you represent?
We represent 670,000 people nationwide in all government agencies, and we want to go to work. We want to service the American people. It's time to end this shutdown now. It's time for Mr. Boehner to allow a clean CR, up or down vote in the House of Representatives to open the back up to American people.
And this, you've already been affected by the budget crisis, furloughs, and this budget. How has the budget crisis affected you?
Our people have had 3 years of pay freeze. They've had an additional 2.3% that they've had to pay into retirement benefits. They've been furloughed for up to 6 days this year. It is time to put these folks back to work, quit taking it out on federal employees. We are America's servants. We want to serve the American people. Process Social Security claims, process veterans claims, inspect the food, keep our borders safe, and keep you safe from the hijackers that would hijack airplanes. That's what we do.
Are you shocked that they would take you hostage, shut down the government to get what they want?
No, I'm never shocked at what these people would do. These people have a very right-winged agenda. It's all against working people. They hate government. They want to spend the money on contractors and their friends. That's what these folks want.
Now, public workers have been bearing the brunt of being blamed. Teachers are being blamed. Postal workers. I mean, what's going on with the attack on public workers in this country?
The attack on public workers is to get rid of them. Again, it's this Tea Party movement that hates government. They don't like public education. They don't like any government services. They only want the money for themselves. It's a very right-wing philosophy. It's trying to take this country back 150 years. AFG is not going to stand for it. The labor movement's not going to stand for it.
And there are millions of public workers. How come they're not being mobilized? How come they're not united? It seems like they're all under attack.
No, they're under attack, but public workers are very well mobilized, and we are out there fighting. All the unions, AFG, ASME, teachers, we're all out there fighting.
Do you think there should be a national day of action of all public workers in the United States?
I think we are having national days of action right now all over this country. AFG is having hundreds of rallies all over this country every day throughout the country.
Talk about how AFG is being affected around the country.
Well, AFG's been totally affected around the country. I mean, we've got our people who represent Social Security workers, VA workers. We're all over the place. We are working very hard. We want this government back up and running to serve the American people. That's what we want to do.
Now, some workers have been ordered back to work, and yet they're not getting paid.
They're not getting paid.
How is that? Isn't that unconstitutional?
No, that's the laws. The Congress of the United States has actually at one time had the power to write laws that enslaved people. So right now, they've exempted themselves from their own laws. They're forcing involuntary servitude and not willing to pay their workers. And obviously, people still have an expense of going to work. It's time to end this government lockout now and put people back to work.